Greetings and salutations. I literally just ended the one recording and started up the next one. Um, and we are back with some more of the One Talent Challenge. Wait, those guys throw... That's not cool. Don't throw glacial spikes at me. We're back to the One Talent Challenge. We're right near the end of Act 5 in Nightmare. So, we're hoping to get out of Nightmare in the near future. We may or we may not. I don't know. But back to what I was saying about the Pokemon Unite thing. Now, you have people that initiate fights. Now, when you initiate a fight, the whole point is to legitimately, be the first one in, last one out. And it's ow. That was very painful. Now, the first one in, last one out initiator. He's the guy, much like I said, like I was saying, like Snorlax and Blastoise and stuff like that. They go in, the first one in, last one out. Now, for other games like League of Legends, I think Alistair, League of Legends Alistair, Blitz. I think what is it, Blitzcrank? He's the big mech one with the fist. You punch your fist. I haven't played a lot of League of Legends, so I'm sorry about that. They're good initiator champions, because you want them to be the one to be the first one into the fight, because usually they have a high health pool, or they can be just disruptive enough to push the enemy around and really cause some separation there. I don't want to go to the summit yet. I want to get the waypoint. And that's kind of the whole deal, is to get that separation. Now, people say, well, what do you mean separation? Well, okay, in every type of MOBA, and there are people that do say, what do you mean separation? So I've talked about MOBAs and other stuff with a lot of people. What I mean by separation is you have this amount of space that between you and the opponent, okay? And when a lot of the Pokemon and a lot of the other champions and everything capitalize off that being in a cluster. They capitalize off of themselves being in a cluster, or the enemy being in a cluster. And what that does is, well, it causes you problems as the player, because if they're in a cluster and it benefits them, or if you're in a cluster and it benefits them, or both, you want to create a separation between themselves, and you want to create a separation between your team and their team, etc. Now, it's not as simple as like, oh, well, just go in there and shove them around. Well, some of them can, some of them can't. Sometimes the separation between the two is you just being there and kind of being the distraction that gets them to look away. Whether it be because you jump to the back line and start attacking their healer, start attacking their support, something like that. It could be anything that simple, right? But then you have things like counter initiators. Now, counter initiators are fun. So you see the enemy Snorlax, you know he's there, you know he's gonna jump in with usually heavy slam, and he's gonna land on your team, stun people, and then he's gonna either use block or yawn, and he's gonna start pushing people around. Typical Snorlax job, right? So as a counter initiator, you wait for him to slam, and then you jump in on the enemy. Not him. You ignore him. Ignoring him is the best possible thing you could do. Because if you actually go after him, you're feeding into the enemy's strategy. That's what they want you to do. They want you to go after the Snorlax, the initiator. Any initiator. So instead, as a counter initiator, you wait for him to jump in, and then you jump their backline as a counter initiator. Counter initiators are generally people who have a lot of HP. Not a lot of HP, sorry. They have a lot of attack. They have a moderate amount of HP. And they also shove people around and can pick off a kill here or there, generally. And the whole point, like I said, is to just jump into the back line and make sure that their back line suffers losses. Now, a counter-initiator can be things like Absol, Garchomp. To a lesser extent, you could have... trying to think of his name. Crustle. Crustle could counter-initiate as well. It is very possible. But you want their attack to be rather high, and you want to be able to cause damage and get a kill. If not, and if nothing else, you want to be able to disrupt the enemy from doing what it wants to do, which is getting everybody in one location and legitimately burning everybody down. Now, those are the team fight basics, right? And for a lot of players, they fail to kind of grasp what the role is. Like, they see the name, like, they'll see the word attacker or all-arounder or something like that, or speedster, and they're like, oh, okay, it's this. Technically, yes, but also no. You know, if I see the term speedster in Pokemon Unite, it tells me, okay, this Pokemon is meant to be a ganker and a counter-initiator. Ow. Alright, consolidate forces around this guy. Alright, hold on. I have to really... I was getting nowhere fast. There was way too many shaman up, and they were rezzing them as fast as I could kill them. I really wasn't getting very far, so... That's okay. We're gonna get there. No worries. In the next couple of days, I will probably do some more recording tomorrow. Because I got into the beta test for Monster Hunter Wilds. So I am going to try that, and I'm going to make a recording of it. Might do a recording or two. That'll probably be tomorrow. I'll probably record. I'll probably record that tomorrow, yeah. I'll also probably record the same level on Black Ops again. The... trying to think of the name of it. Give me a second. The mission that I did. Because, so, what happened the other day with the Black Ops mission that made my... what I said, my video went all wonky, right? What had happened was I was doing something on my controller, and I believe I was performing an execution move. And while I was trying to perform that execution move, my video froze right here in the OBS, where, like, I can see myself in the corner and everything else going on. It froze and me going... like that, and I was in the middle of saying something, and as it froze and everything was going on, I didn't know if it was recording properly or if it was just recording a still image and then you had all the audio in the background. So I cut that episode early, went back, reviewed the video, and when I went back and reviewed the video, what I found was that the video was still recording properly. and the audio was still recording properly. So when I quit the level, I have to do it all over again. Fun thing is I get to do silent takedowns of all those bodyguards. So that's going to be fun. What I'll probably do instead is I will probably play through the level until the point where I left off, and then I will start recording from there. Even though, I mean, I'm going to kind of miss the whole, where I did the whole Bill Clinton voice being like, took an old picture of Bill Clinton, oh, isn't that wonderful? Oh, it's Bill Clinton. So, I had fun with that level. I honestly did. I mean, I don't have a problem doing it again. I think it's gonna be a blast the second time around, just like it was the first time around. But I want to start doing more team deathmatch and everything, whether it be on hardcore or out of hardcore. It doesn't really matter. I want to start doing that again and have some fun with the old, standard. Standard and maybe some hardcore, because I don't want to fall into the whole one note thing. I really want to try to branch out and showcase more of the things of more than I can just, oh hey, I can just snipe with non-sniping weapons. Well, of course I can. But yeah, I want to have some more fun with it though. I tell you, it's so hard to sit there and not put talent points in. You have no idea. You have no idea. I see the skill point come up and I'm like, yeah, I get a skill point. Right? And boy, am I sitting there just happy as a clam that I get a skill point. Then I realize and I remember I'm doing the one talent challenge. I can't do an extra skill point, so I end up having to just stare at the 28 that I have. With that look on my face like, yes, I will be able to use 20 of you next difficulty. And then the rest of them just kind of are meaningless.
Good day.
Good afternoon.
Oh man, that's a nice, look at that. Paladin skills and cast rate. Spectacular. Obviously, I'm not going to do a paladin, though. I'm not going to do a paladin right now. Though a little sneaky hint with the paladin, just so you know. For anybody wanting to do a one talent challenge paladin, let me tell you. Here, bring it in. There's a secret with paladins. The whole first difficulty, you go thorns and a whole bunch of stamina. And then you make an insight polearm for your mercenary, so it gives you your mana back. And then you put your points into strength to wear better gear, and then you just put points into smite, because smite doesn't have an attack rating. Smash them with your shield, no attack rating, which means you're guaranteed to hit. There's no miss at all. You're 100% hit rating with smite. That's because it does such small amounts of damage. That's the offset. Then again, when you max that out and you get down to Holy Shield, your Holy Shield increases your smite damage. So you pop yourself a Holy Shield and then you just smite everyone into next week. You put just enough mana in so that you can cast Holy Shield and start casting Smite. And then you just beat people to death with Smite. Between the Smite and the Thorns, nobody stands a chance. Because the meditation aura from your mercenary's polearm and his prayer stack, just so you know. So you get insight polearm, the prayer merc from Act 2 normal or Act 2 hell, because it's the same.
The summit.
We are the spirits of the Nephilim. Ow. That hurt. Man, they're just killing off wolves as fast as I can make them. Well, he's dead. Once I get rid of Mawdock, we won't have that problem. Alright. Doesn't matter because he can just whirlwind through them. It's like, ah, yes, you have him pinned in, and then all of a sudden he's just like, nope, joke's on you, I'm into that. He pulls the old Skeletor meme. Ow! That explosion actually hurt. And I'm a 61. Getting close. Getting very close. Ouch. Well, that's not good. Hold up. Yeah, I was clicking to try to summon them down there, and yeah, what I was doing was I ended up clicking off the screen, and I clicked something else, and it could have gone very badly for me. Ow. And of course, they're immune to cold, so... Happy days are here again. My wolves actually don't do anything except eat damage. All my wolves are right now is a distraction. That's it. Because the stuff down here has got immune to cold, so my wolves don't actually do damage. Really? A skull? Ugh. Running out of room, man. Yeah, see, you gotta get the people on top of the Hierophant, otherwise they don't. It doesn't work. I mean, there's a sit in the back and heal. Oh boy. I mean, it's getting down to the wire. It's this is getting to be insane. I would like honestly, I've been thinking about it a lot in the back of my head. And if I manage to get this character to go all the way to hell difficulty and be able to successfully complete it with only 3 talents, then yeah. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words because I'm sitting here thinking, what happens if I actually do it? What happens, like what should I do? Should I, like, promote my channel at that point? And be like, yes, I am that crazy guy that did this? I mean, like, everything here is self-found. Everything here is just... I've done everything by myself. So that's the weirdest thing. Like, the trepidations I've had this entire journey almost seem like they're non-existent. You know what I mean? Wow. That's a lot of damage being thrown around. Yeah, this is just craziness. I mean, to be fair, and I will give credit where credit is due, it's the bow. It's the bow. The bow has been doing all the heavy lifting. And I can't say it hasn't. Because Thorns is that powerful. So, yeah, it's the bow. The bow is what's kept me going. Truthfully. But at the same time, like, 3 talents?
You
Man, I'm getting the garbage charms. Look at that. That's a third of the blight charm. 6 poison damage. Don't stress yourself out now, game. I mean, whoa. The benevolence can only go so far. Game's probably sitting there going, we gave him everything he wanted. He wanted a new type of damage. He sat there and he says, Blizzard, come here. I'm tired of doing just cold and physical. I want to be able to hit for a third element. And so we give him poison damage and he's not happy. He's ungrateful. I dare say that he is not a fan of what the Godfather has now given him. And on this, the day of my daughter's wedding. Yikes. Okay, so poison damage still hits like a truck. Good to know. Well, say goodbye to my life total. Look at that. 1 poison bolt. Okay, so poison I have to watch out for. There's quite a few bosses up here that are going to have poison. Almost did it again. Here I am trying to summon advanced forces, you know. The forward contingent of my troops, and what do you know, I'm almost summoning myself into an early grave. Oh, that'd have been terrible. They had Conviction Aura, which lowers my resistances. That would have skedaddled past minor inconvenience and ran headlong into full-on atrocity. Oh, boy. Oh, good. Champion mages, because, you know, couldn't have just regular mages. Nah, that'd be too easy. Not a bad, not a bad wand there, but I have to really like start composing myself, rounding corners down here. I round the wrong corner at the wrong speed. I'll run headlong into a whole bunch of skeletal mages and get boned. Pun was intentional, by the way. Oh, and then you notice one thing real quick. They're giving me all of that poison damage, right? The Charms of Blight. And the majority of these, minions down here say immune to poison. So much for that poison damage, huh? Oof. Ow. Jeez, this thing's barely touched me and my life craters. There's Worldstone Keep too, so I got all the waypoints now. So if I die, I can die at least happy. So, Doc. You saw the patient. What did he die of? Disappointment. Disappointment? Yeah. Why was he disappointed? He didn't have all the waypoints. It's a bitter pill to swallow. An absolutely bitter pill to swallow. He could have done a lot in his life. He just couldn't leave those points alone. He had to have those waypoints. Inevitably, that was his downfall.
Good afternoon.
I told him I'd be dead in the ground before I let it happen. And as you can see there's Wirt's leg. This game used to be Wirtsless. Yep, there's that's exactly what I was looking for. I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Not today, dirtbag. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a Worldstone Keep level 4. Oh, good. Oh, good. Good to know that there was a demon in there that was at a unique. Great. Wonderful. Is it sad that I saw that Espand in there, that two-handed sword, and the first thing that popped in my head, albeit a political joke, was "Let's go, Espandon." I I don't know why my brain does that. It just does. It decides, ah, yes, there's a joke, and it's also somewhat of a pun. Let's do it. It's a great idea. Makes me almost want to make a character named Let's Go and then pick up an Espandon and then have it personalized so it says Let's Go Espandon. I mean, yes, it's a joke in political nature, but I can make jokes on both sides. As I'm going to tell you right now, people say, oh, well, what's your political standpoint? I mean, I've had people try to delve into my political standpoint, and I've mentioned it once before on the channel. And my political standpoint is I'm a constitutional textualist. Whatever it says in the Constitution, that's generally how I gauge things. Like, I want it to be as close to the Constitution as originally, not original Constitution, but as close to the Constitution as humanly possible. So whatever the Constitution says, that's it. That's what we follow. Now, in rules of, say, like... Now, when it comes to, like, the 10th Amendment of the Constitution, which says that, all powers are then divested to the states, you follow your state constitution. Not hard. And if your state constitution says, hey, you can, divvy up the legislative powers even further, so long as they're not constitutional amendments, take it further. Run it to see how far it goes. That's how I see it. So it's not really based on, say, nothing is really based on a political party, per se. Mine is more like, well, what's the Constitution say, And I'm not talking in an interpretive sense. I'm not saying, what did the Founding Fathers mean when they said this? Nope. Like, for example, the Second Amendment. Sure. In the Second Amendment, it says, cannot be infringed. I should be able to go out and buy a tank. And some shoulder-fired rockets for funsies. It's because that's what it says. Shall not be infringed. Okay. Sign me up. Give me a tank brigade. Of course, I'm joking, but I'm joking about the whole tank brigade. But I still think that it should not be limited, because that's what it says in the original documents. So, yo, when it comes to the First Amendment, yeah, everybody should have a First Amendment. You should be able to speak out against your government. You should be able to speak out and say what you think and say what you believe and have those convictions. But you should also be aware that those convictions that you hold are also beholden to reprisal from the people who disagree. So, if you say something that other people disagree with, and they don't like it, and they come over and they knock your teeth in, yes, they technically physically assaulted you, but there should be a caveat to that. There really should be a caveat added to the freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and say, yeah, hey, if somebody's saying something you don't like, you have the right to just fist to teeth, Not that people should, because I'm pretty sure you can resolve anything through conversation. least on a minor scale. You can't, like, for example, and I've said this example before to other people, on a minor scale, on a micro scale, I should say, all things can be resolved through dialogue. All things can be resolved through diplomacy and dialogue on a micro scale. Once you start getting to the macro scale, which is global conflict and global issues, there comes a point where dialogue is no longer available. And dialogue cannot be sustained. You want to know what I'm going to title this video? Baal's Deep. Kind of like Balls Deep, but Baal. I love that sinister laugh he gives. That sinister laugh he gives is just iconic. There we go. I mean, this is going better than the previous iterations of this. Like on normal it's terrible. Another Monold heal. Sign me up, man. Replenish life? Yeah. That's basically regen. Oh. These wolves are doing work. This is going fast. I mean, if you look at it, it's going by at a decent clip. This is where the problems come in. Well, at least the list of the Tormentor's dead. Whoa. Things are looking up. I'm gonna go vendor all my stuff. I went through that entire thing without porting once. I am impressed with myself, and I'm happy with myself. And this is it. This is the test right here.
Evening.
This is the test to see if we live or die. And I gotta tell you, before any of this goes off, before any of this happens, I'm going to be giving like a small speech. I'm glad that I made this journey, and I'm glad I made it this far. If things go pear-shaped, and it just goes, and it goes under, I'm just happy I managed to make it this far. Let's do this.
Legendary world stone. Guardian of the natural world.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
I know that's his clone, but I mean, I have to get rid of it. I can't have the frost damage coming up like that. This is gonna take a while. I mean, the birds aren't affected by it, so they can just sit right there and hammer him down. Ow. I mean, the summons do make it easy, but there's still a modicum of threat and danger. Yes, I know I'm kind of cheesing it, but hey. We did it.
Baal, join your brothers in oblivion.
I don't know why it started doing that, but I was not a fan of it. Greetings.
I am overburdened.
Conqueror. We did it. We beat Nightmare. You know what that means? Means we get a new talent.
Good day. Oh,
And the talent we get is... those boots are so terrible. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wait a minute. Wait just a second. Yeah, my cold resist could use the art of... I know I'm shorting myself a potion, but I need the resistances.
Hi there.
Hi, Charity. Yep. And what's this serpent skin armor? Skin of the Viper Magi. Ooh, one to all skills. All resistances. I like it. I mean, I lose a faster hit recovery, but... And I lose a regenerate mana.
What can
Plus,
I do for you?
plus one to skills is greater than that. You need those plus to skills, man. Alright. So now it's level 22. I get 5 of those. They now do 33 hits. And we get to pick our last talent, which is going to be Firestorm. That's fire damage per second. So that's if they're standing in that fire damage, they take that much per second. That is the last talent we get.
Good
That is
day.
our F3.
I am. There is a place.
But that's it. We made it. We made it to hell difficulty. My resistances are pretty good for hell difficulty. I gotta give myself that. That Skin of the Viper Magi saved my hide already, and I haven't even started. And it saved my hide already. But we beat him. We beat Baal. Nightmare. We did it. Now it's going to be for the true test. There's a lot of stuff out there that's got a lot of immunities. But I had fun. I hope you had fun. Yeah, I cheesed Baal, but we're like I said, we're gonna ride it until it breaks, and we can hope that we can finish it on hell. And if we can, man, it's gonna be awesome. But thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening, a wonderful tomorrow, and as always, have a good one. Can't believe it.